Hello. Hi, social. Welcome in. Today is a day that I'm streaming. Yes, yes, yes. Crazy, I know, right? Trying to get back on a regular basis after 4 months. Where's my head going? Okay. Anyway, let's hop right back into it. Oh no, not continue. New chapter. Chapter 1. 0.1. Whatever. Blood Drive. Chapter 1. Returning. Great, we're going back to this place. Let's fucking go. A day had passed since the events of Shimorenjaku South Apartments. This was to be a significant turning point for me, and Mochida might have been part of it from the start, except that fate seemed to have other plans for him. Miss Kuon, I have something pressing I need to get to, so if you'll excuse me. No, you sit back down, Satoshi. Your score in the algebra quiz yesterday was rather embarrassing, don't you think? Goddamn, okay. Like an owner training a puppy, Kuon gave him a strong glare and held up her index finger in reprimand. It's been 5 seconds and I can't even read. Please. For the next hour, I'm going to give you a personal lecture and you're going to listen. And then the next quiz will be a snap to pass. Hi, Misfit. Welcome in. How are you? But aren't you an English teacher? Isn't algebra a little outside of your field of expertise? Anything's possible if you put your mind to it. We're making the teacher blush, guys. Let's go. She seemed a little taken aback by that remark, puffing up her cheeks like a chipmunk in protest. But Miss Kuon, it's startling how like she and Miss Yui are. Well, yeah, they had to give like identical people or identical personalities to replace the fucking people that fucking died. I'm sorry. Looking both bemused and guilty, Mochida tried to get up and leave his seat in one swift motion, but he was quickly and easily caught, lifted up, and forcibly sat back down. I just made it to work and you're playing this. Uh-oh. I'm sorry. Hey, no one's been naked yet. No one's naked. Yet. We'll see though. She's probably gonna get naked. Who knows? Miss Kuon was smiling. She was actually enjoying this. Who or what am I dealing with here? Miss Kuon was only the slightest bit taller than Mochida. I hope no one gets naked. What the fuck? Yeah, me too. I mean, she's 24. Canonically. My eyes. Miss Kuon, canonically 24. Mochida and the rest of them, not the age of consent. So, Miss Kuon is free choice here. Am I gay? Yes. Well, why hello, ma'am. Period. I was actually talking to my coworkers the other night about who I'd be straight for. I don't know how we got into this conversation, but I was talking about the beef between Zendaya and Timothy Chalamet after Dune 2, you know, the movie Dune 2 that just came out. She literally, I don't know what their beef is, but she did not want to be anywhere near him on the red carpet. Like, he was trying to get pictures with her because they're the two leads of the movie, right? But she literally was in this amazing, like, nude dress that was, like, you know, really complimented her skin tone. She looked fucking amazing. And, like, he was trying to get pictures with her because, like, you know, the two lead actors, actresses, whatever you want to call them, you know, side by side would have made, like, good portrait, you know? but she didn't want to be anywhere near him. And she walked so slowly away, flipping her hair, looking sexy as hell. And I'm like, I'm sorry, if Zendaya came up to me right now and said have sex with me, I'm sorry, I would. No hesitation. Like, come on. It's like if Beyonce walked up to you and was like, I'm leaving Jay-Z for you. Yeah, and you'd say no to that? Please. But I don't know her beef with Timothy Chalamet, but honestly, I would have beef with him too. Like, that's one twink I would not trust. Anyway, Miss Cohen was on the slightest bit taller than Mochita. This did make her taller than average, but her arms were small and frail. There seemed to be no way she could possibly have lifted someone of his build. LaMel. This whole situation was rather bewildering for him, and he made no attempt to hide his confusion. Now, let's begin, shall we? Yes, ma'am. He had no other option. Apparently he was going to be studying algebra for the next hour, come hell or high water. Also, I am being a gamer, and I'm drinking a Code Red Mountain Dew. Because, again, I am a gamer. Also, I found out why my notifications, like when people follow and whatever, are broken. Apparently, Own 3D Pro updated, and now I have to have a paid subscription to use it, so fuck that. I'll just find another free source thing at some point later. Meanwhile, at a local cafe near the school, Kishinuma and I were sitting down to speak with Aiko Niwa, the informant who led my friends to me the previous night. Are you alright? Does your stomach hurt? I responded with a dismissive gesture while continuing to rub my abdomen with my other hand. Ever since the previous night, I'd had this consistent, unbearable urge to pee. Ayumi's the piss girl now. Those stupid money-grabbing companies. God, capitalism is in full swing today, isn't it? Ayumi's the piss girl now. What the hell is wrong with me? I mean, I know I got really scared and I hyperventilated, but can that affect my body like this? Did it change something in me? My bladder feels like it's fit to burst. The piss curse has now claimed another victim. Please. So, where shall we begin? Aiko tilted her head and stared at me, looking me up and down, seemingly judging my every mannerism, my every movement. It was making me feel really self-conscious. I covered my abdomen with both hands as if guarding it from her gaze. Thank you very much for your help yesterday. Think nothing of it. I only regret that your friends couldn't get to you sooner. Keshiroga Academy is quite large, so it took some time to track down Kishinuma and the others. Kishinuma and I stared at one another, still unsure how to feel about the strange new addition to our entourage. Second time she mentioned needing to piss in the same chapter. Period. Ayumi, Kishinuma. You two are survivors from Heavenly Host Elementary, are you not? We pledged never to discuss Heavenly Host with anyone else, which we'd always assumed would be an easy promise to keep, but now casually, and out here in the blue, here we were. Why, how do you know about that? Well, you've been touched by the ever after. When people come into contact with the beyond, the color of their auras changes to something otherworldly, something I can see. Both Kishinuma and I were speechless. I just sat there staring at my palm, subconsciously trying to see my aura. I guess. Aiko was smiling at us triumphantly. You said you were an intelligent agent, was it? For the supernatural? Are you a friend of Naho's? Sorry, I saw a shadow. I could have just blinked and it, like, my eye twitched or something, but I saw something. Ugh. Why am I already getting scared? Nothing scary has happened yet. That's correct, I'm the one who tipped her off about Heavenly Host Elementary, in fact. The true source of the depths are subsequent erasures that had turned our lives into a living nightmare was the Sachiko Ever After ritual posted on Naho's occult blog. I've been a fan of Naho's for quite some time, so when I saw that, I knew I had to try it out with my friends from Class 2-9, and as a result, half of those friends were now gone. I suppose you're aware that Naho was involved in supernatural investigations on behalf of Mr. Kabiki, no? Oh, whoa, a shadow. Please. Sachiko's coming to get you, Moon. No. So sometimes, I don't know how, but bugs get into my room. So I was like, I was really hoping there wasn't like a bug on my light or something, because I was like literally about to get up and leave my room. Because fuck bugs. I hate bugs. Yes, do I happen to be a bug and cat fusion? Yes, we're not gonna talk about it. Damn, I know she hasn't been seen since posting information on Sachiko Ever After. I fucking hate bugs. Hello, Detigger. Welcome in. Bugs, ew. Exactly. Well, my business is of similar nature. I gather data from spiritual hotspots and other supernatural locals, and sell that data to my clients for a fair profit. Not always money, mind you. Sometimes I'll do my dirty work in exchange for a particular spirit item that perks my interest. It all depends on who I'm dealing with. It's entirely give and take. They want my information, I want their cash, or their artifacts. Physically, Aiko was a very attractive young lady, but personality-wise, the jury was still out. Her words were calculated and emotionless, her true intentions a mystery. One could call me an information dealer, but I prefer intelligence agent, and Naho was a good customer. My info on Heavenly Host proved to be her last purchase, however. At the time, Naho was single-mindedly excited about Mr. Kabiki's work. She believed he could qualify for some award with the information I found for her. Poi Poi, hello. Hi. Poi. Say, could you tell me, was Naho there in the other world you found yourselves trapped in? Naho died, together with Mr. Kabiki. I looked down as I answered. Despite everything she's done, the memory of Naho's passing was still painful for me. She'd become one of Heavenly Host's lost souls and gone completely berserk. In the end, I was the one who finished her off. I see, I assumed as much. Aiko seemed completely unaffected by this revelation. Her tone remained even though her expression cold and distant. Oh yeah, she's the ghost of the library now. Honestly, I had about enough of her by this point. She was so devoid of empathy, it was almost offensive, as I was genuinely starting to get pissed off. Ayumi, don't act like you fucking have empathy. You saw, oh, this, this charm is gonna send me and my friends to another world, and half of your friends died. So, yeah. Don't tell me you fucking have empathy. All my homies hate Ayumi. And you're okay with that? I do feel sorry for her, don't get me wrong, but I had strong feelings that things would end this way. There's no point in lamenting that for which I was fully prepared. Kishinuma continued to stare intently at Aiko with his own brand of cold, emotionless eyes. He was oddly quiet, though his anger was palpable. I clenched my fist. What about this girl? I believe she performed the ritual alongside Naho. Did you see her there as well? Aiko showed us a photo of a girl named Sayaka Ui. No, I can't say I've ever met her. Oh, she's in the spin-off. Not spin-off, the fan service game we played. Because technically you're supposed to play the first 3 games before you play Sachiko's Hysteric Birthday Bash, but I played the fan service game first, before I played the technical last game of the first Corpse Party series, so I already know information about these characters that I'm not supposed to know, because it's supposed to be revealed in this and the fan service game. Because they said, oh, it was just a fan service game, but then you read into the blogs and shit, and the developers were like, no, everything in this is canon. And I was like, oh, great. No, I can't say I've ever met her. I see. Aiko's expression was so faltering. You could carve it in stone. I couldn't take it anymore. I had to say something. If you're calling Naho your customer, I don't think you can really say you were her friend. My voice was breaking with rage, but even if that hadn't been the case, my face must have read like a book. This itchy, I wanted to say itchy. This icy bitch may have had only one expression, but I sure didn't. Wow, they really amped it up on the cursing in this game. Like, in the past, there was barely any cursing, but now it's just like, bitch here, cunt here. Damn. I like it. Amai, do you have something against that word? When I deal with my customers, I give them a guarantee of my utmost quality and dedicate myself to their satisfaction. It's an unbreakable bond of trust, like one would have for a partner, and that's not always something you can say about friendship now, is it? The lion, the witch, the audacity of this bitch, period. I had no idea what to say. It seemed like Aiko was used to this sort of thing. Her response felt carefully rehearsed, like a sales pitch. Finally, Kishinuma broke his silence. Hey, I do want to thank you for helping us save Shinozaki yesterday, really. But spreading dangerous information just to pay the bills? How the hell can you sleep at night? Like a baby. The information is just that, information. It's harmless on its own. There's no good or bad. It's like a tool. It's up to the recipient how it's used. Yep. Anything can be harmful in the wrong hands. After all, why that cup over there could be used to kill a man just as easily as any knife. The hell it could. That's bullshit and you know it. Ayumi, do you agree? Aiko, I'm sorry, but I hate the way you think. I feel it's irresponsible. Her expression remained calm and collected overall, but her eyes blinked several times in rapid succession. It was the first outward sign of emotion we'd seen from her. Well, now it seems I've come to be regarded as something of a villain here. I can't say this is new or unexpected, but it never ceases to be disheartening. Aiko quickly shrugged off her sudden outburst, and was back to her usual icy self. It doesn't matter now. Anyway, we destroyed Heavenly Host. It's gone. It comes back, bitch. Did you forget that it's a time loop? An awkward tension filled the room, or at least our table. Let's get down to business then. There's a reason I sought you out, something I wanted to discuss with you. I could produce a thick, hardbound file folder from the light blue bag she'd brought with her. She opened it to reveal several documents of questionable nature. Among them were what looked to be a family tree, as well as numerous pages featuring black magic symbols, or images that looked like tree branches. Black magic spell charts? And is that the Shinozaki family tree? You may find what I'm about to tell you a bit shocking. Aiko was looking directly into my eyes now. Her gaze was fixed, intense, and unblinking. What Kishinuma said a moment ago was incorrect. Huh? What do you mean? Heavenly Host Elementary has not been destroyed. It still exists, even now. Kishinuma literally forgot that they were trapped in a time loop for 2 months. Like, Heavenly Host never dies. It's just a time loop. Now and forever. Take a look at this. Aiko placed a black and white photo on the table. It wasn't the clearest of pictures, but there was no doubt that the location depicted was Heavenly Host Elementary. In the picture, a small girl could be seen standing in front of the all too familiar hallways, holding a hatchet in her right hand. It's Heavenly Host. Where did this come from? We have confirmation then. It's a photograph I've taken. I didn't have the power to produce a clearer image, but this is the current state within Heavenly Host. I don't understand. What am I looking at? I can't even describe what was going on through my head at that moment. I felt like I was about to burst. Aiko, however, remained calm as ever while recounting her story. Let's start at the beginning. First, the red box from yesterday. After some time, I was able to open it, and I found these spirit items contained within. The box I'd found on Makina's futon. Inside inside it were apparently 2 stones resembling magatama, kama-shaped ceremonial objects from Japanese antiquity. Also included in the box were several more roughly hewn stones, as well as the lining along the edges consisting of crumpled pieces of thin white paper. Unfortunately, most of the box's contents were broken or damaged. This pair, however, was still fully intact. They look almost like a demented version of yin and yang symbols, puzzle pieces that were clearly built to be slotted together. Aiko now held one stone in each hand and was motioning them toward one another as if to drive that point home. Spirit items are, in the simplest terms, items which have been infused with thoughts and feelings of the dead. Those who bear such objects will be visited by the spirits within them, or at the very least, be forever privy to their memories and earthly laments. It's a wonderful thing. I may not quite look the part, but I'm actually quite an avid collector of spirit items. You said that like 3 times now. Kishinuma and I briefly locked eyes again. We shared the same look of bewilderment. Aiko's personality was much more twisted than either of us had initially perceived it to be. I tried to get a fix on this little girl's thoughts, and in doing so I heard a vengeful cry and saw an image of a girl with braided hair in an abandoned school building. My curiosity had been piqued. I took out this camera. At this, she produced an old instant camera and placed it on the table in front of us. I tried to take a photo of the image in my mind. The result is that shot. This particular spirit item only allows me to produce images from the exact moment in time when the picture is taken. The past and future alike are beyond its reach. I examined the photograph in greater detail, and a chill ran down my spine. There's absolutely no denying what it depicted. No, I was actually shaking. Without Sachiko Shinozaki, the school should have collapsed. It should have ceased to exist as soon as we escaped. I believe the collapse was halted, perhaps right on the brink even, maybe because of the person to whom that voice I heard belongs. Aiko motioned toward the photo in my hand. It could even be the girl in that picture. I wonder who she is. The answer was beginning to dawn on me. A sudden cold sensation exploded through my body, and I shuddered, as if trying to shake off an encroaching realization. I gotta take a sip of this Code Red Mountain Dew. Refreshing. God damn, you really think that hellhole is still around? Keshinuma leaned forward. The conversation was clearly beginning to engage him, a lot more than it had been. Heavenly Host Elementary, or rather the dimensional space that took on the form of Heavenly Host Elementary, fascinated me from the moment I introduced it to Naho. I began to research it independently and learned that its true identity is, well, something like a new nirvana, another world, or hereafter, an otherworldly plane of death. Though ordinarily, one tends to think of there being only this world and the next. A new nirvana? That's correct. You know about Yoshi Shinozaki, do you not? Yeah. And her clinic, the Shinozaki Estate, wherein the grimoire known as the Book of Shadows was located? Yeah. Why, how could she know about that? A million thoughts, a million questions were running through my head. I was speechless. All I could do was sit there and hear her out. It was like a muffled scream or a moan of agony, the sound you make when you want to make a sound, but are barely able to. That one was a little more forceful, accompanied by thrashing. It caused the nearby table to fall over and roll along the ground. Please, dear, come now. You need to stay calm. This was Yoshi Shimozaki's clinic. And Yoshi herself was on top of her husband, holding him down with both of her hands. She continued her Shito purification chant. To prevent Seiji from biting off his own tongue, he had been gagged with a towel. Needless to say, he wasn't looking particularly well. Not far from where this was occurring, Sachiko stood aghast, trembling as she watched the proceedings with hesitant, sidelong glances. Izanagi no Okami, who visits the underworld and beholds our foul spirits, guide us to the cleansing waters of the Tachibana on the Orona no Ahagihara shores in the land of Tsukushi. Tsutsukushi? I know I'm pronouncing all of this wrong. I'm sorry. I'm very, white. Seiji still collapsed on the floor. Was clearly oh my god. Was clearly suffering. His body was bent into the most unnatural shape. He was fervently clawing at his neck. I beseech thee, in the name of the divine virtues of the gods gathered here, to wash away the sins we've committed and the impurities that dwell within our minds and bodies. Sachiko's father screamed through his gag, foam beginning to form out from its edges. He was going into cyanosis. Ghostly images of Shinozaki women from ages past smiled down upon the event from the ceiling, laughing and mocking his suffering. Worse still, some of the women had traditionally blackened teeth, giving their smiles an unintentionally sinister edge. The atmosphere within the room was heavy, as if spirits occupied every empty corner, dancing and flitting about freely and joyously. Seiji's body sharply bent and began convulsing. Come into this world, multitudinous Okami of Haredo. Dear, stay with me, dear. Mioya no Mitama, I beg of you, please do not take him. Brush her damn teeth. Her great-grandmother, Sierra, the head of the Shinozaki family, was among the black-teethed women laughing joyously at Seiji's suffering. Daddy, Daddy! His voice began to weaken, and his convulsions began to lose strength. Finally, the last spark of life left his body. His eyes rolled back into his head, and all movement ceased. Daddy, why aren't you breathing? Sachiko looked up, eyes glazed over with tears. Yoshi, too, was stricken with grief and despair. Could you imagine if every time we saw Yoshi Shinozaki, it was Yoshi from Mario? This is what it means to be a Shinozaki, to be part of the cursed bloodline. All men who marry in are guaranteed to die quickly. Not even Yoshi could circumvent that fate. So she turned to the forbidden book, an item she and her family had been protecting for generations from those who might misuse it. The Grimoire, the Book of Shadows. To lose a loved one was a fate she feared more than anything else, so she tried to offset it through black magic. It was an act of truly absurd foolishness. She must have cared for him deeply. She would have literally done anything to see him again, no matter the cost of her own immortal soul. Aiko stared deeply into my eyes, seemingly fishing for a reaction to her tale. But then what happened next was almost beyond belief. I continued listening, unknowingly stroking the wound on my thigh as unpleasant memories of my own foolish run-in with black magic resurfaced. The Shinozaki blood that flowed through Yoshi's veins was more powerful than anyone could have known. Its energy spawned something much different than what Yoshi intended. By which, of course, I mean... I instantly knew what she was going to say. From the book she created, A New Nirvana. There, one could coexist with the dead for all eternity. It was a new dimension cut from the netherworld itself, forcibly born unto the world of the living. Yoshi must have lost half of her sanity right there. She had to leave her only child Satsuko in the real world, while living with her husband's soul in the new Nirvana. So she basically, through black magic, Yoshi made a new Nirvana, but instead, she fucking made Heavenly Host Elementary. Fuck Yoshi. All my homies hate Yoshi. So she is the so not only did Ayumi fuck her friends and send them to quote-unquote Heaven Nirvana, Heavenly Host, but fucking Yoshi Shinozaki herself created the place through black magic because she wanted to see her husband again. If it was me, I'm sorry. Nirvana, oh my god, I love that band. Please. True, it's a good band, but honestly, if you know, my husband died right in front of me, I would have been like, okay, and moved on. Sorry about, like, no reaction, light work. I'm not creating a whole Nirvana for a man, please. The Land of Corpses. Anyway. Exactly. The Land of Corpses. Oh, you might as well call it a corpse party. Huh? I hate it here. However, this Nirvana had a mind of its own. Yoshi couldn't possibly control it, Shinozaki or no. I knew that all too well. Just like Yoshi, I'd experienced my own tragic failure with black magic at the Shinozaki clinic. Black magic has its own blowback of sorts. Her husband's soul was split apart and scattered in all directions, and Yoshi's life too was on the verge of being snuffed out. She knew she made a mistake. She deeply regretted it, and as she took what she could have only assumed to be her dying breath. Her sole daughter, Sachiko, in possession of a nearly limitless spiritual potential absorbed the entirety of this new nirvana into her body. Sachiko? The poor girl collapsed on the floor, violently thrashing about as the weight of the entire dimension crushed from the inside. This action saved her mother's life, certainly, but death would have surely been preferable. Picking herself up, Yoshi rushed to her daughter's side in tears. Sachiko, Sachi, why? Mommy, don't die. Mom! Both parent and child were bawling, pain mixing with relief, mixing with pain again. Wasn't their hair brown like 5 minutes ago? I guess dabbling in black magic also makes your hair black, I don't know. The little girl buried her face into Yoshi's bosom and just cried and cried. Yoshi grasped her tightly in both arms, tears streaming down her face uncontrollably. I was about to ask about that. Yeah, because I guess, like, their quote-unquote good versions, or, like, normal human versions, had brown hair. I don't know if they're traditionally Japanese, because, you know, most Asian people have black hair, or at least, you know, that's an overall assumption. I'm not sure of that, so I'm not trying to be disrespectful at all. That's just my, you know, generalization of what I know. But, yeah, they were drawn with brown hair before. This could just be, like, oh, different lighting. They're in a dark house, so, like, you know, their hair just looks black within the lighting. But in literally every other time we've seen Sachiko and Yoshi, their hair is strike black in their ghost dead forms. By this point, Sachiko's body had begun producing a dark blue aura. I'm sorry, Sachi. I'm so sorry. Mommy was wrong. Anime logic, yeah. Mommy has you, so from now on, Mommy will never leave you. She'll never even think of leaving you again. As you know, Sachiko is a direct descendant of the Shinozaki line, a thoroughbred. This means her power is greater than Yoshi's. It had to be, of course, for her to house an entire dimension within her body. Aiko took a big, noisy sip from her coffee mug. At the time, she must have been the strongest practitioner of dark arts in all the world, little girl or no. Yet despite that, she wound up dying. That's right, the same day Yoshi fell and died, Sachiko disappeared. That was 50 years ago now. They were both killed by the principal. Just as I suspected. The principal's heinous actions are to blame. Then for resurrecting the new Nirvana within Sachiko and creating the closed spaces we know as Heavenly Host Elementary. It's probably because the school was the site of Sachiko's violent demise that her Nirvana took on its form. Yet even then, with Sachiko reborn as a spirit in that realm, she was still all-powerful, seemingly continued to exert complete control over it. I guess that's why she was able to manifest so many different horrible things in there. This was all starting to make a sick sort of sense. The pieces were falling into place and painting an absolutely awful picture. I shuddered to myself as I considered it. When you escaped, you removed Sachiko from the equation, but the Nirvana remained and is going berserk once more. It should have just disappeared. The world would be better off without it. This entire conversation was a rollercoaster of emotions for me. At this point, I was just angry at everyone involved in this whole ordeal, myself included. Now then, if I may, I'd like to discuss something a bit outlandish with you. Okay. Would you like to see your dead friends again? That certainly got our attention. We both perked our heads up immediately. Spirits that have died in the Nirvana are set to roam its grounds, trapped and unable to find rest. As such, your friend's souls may still exist on that plane. All the people that died, weren't they problematic? The one girl wanted to fuck his brother. The psycho nearly sexually abused Naomi every time she could. Or sexually harassed Naomi at every fucking given point. Even though I love Seiko, she definitely pushed... Yeah, some deserved it. She definitely pushed the lines of sexual harassment with Naomi. And then the one guy with glasses was just completely fucked up. So, the three of them did kind of deserve it. Sorry about it. There are actually a number of useful magics listed in the Book of Shadows. Aside from the spell Yoshi used to create a new Nirvana, there's also a spell of revival. Don't ever bring people back from the dead. Just let the fucking... the events happen. Don't fucking try it. Don't try again. I swear to God, these kids are so fucking stupid. Ah, yes. This other dimension that, you know, you got trapped in for 2 months, watching people die over and over and over again because it was a time loop situation. Let's go back there and try to save everyone again. Bitch, are you dumb? Nagashima and I knew about that one all too well. Forcefully returning a life to its plane is, of course, dreadfully taboo, as it is considered an affront to the will of God by virtually all religious organizations. Huh? Kishinuma seemed a bit more confused than he probably should have been, though I suspect the look on his face may have had something to do with that. I performed that spell, the very one Aiko was describing. It took hours, failed miserably, and killed my sister. All at once, the guilt returned. I lowered my head solemnly. Aiko grinned at me, and I had the sinking suspicion it was because she somehow knew what I was thinking. Though I couldn't be sure, and I certainly didn't know how she would. So, who cares about bullshit like that, right? You can be blasphemous, you can break every commandment. Bring it on. You do whatever it takes to resurrect your dead friends, no? I'm sorry, I love you guys, but if we were in this situation, I'm sorry, I'd be like, fuck them. Peace. And I would hope y'all would do the same. If we got trapped in a fucking dimension and, you know, we all fucking died, but like only a few of us survived, I hope to fucking whoever, to God, whoever, you would just not return. Leave me there. I don't care if I'm suffering for the rest of eternity and I'm trapped there. Leave me there. Don't be dumb. I'd be gone. Exactly. Moon, erased from existence. Never heard of them. Moonsong? Nope. Doesn't ring a bell. Guess, I can't believe you. Social Outcast? No, I don't recall. The Optimisfit? I'm sorry, who? Then, you know, SOS would just be SO. It'd be Shadow and Snow. Oh wait, no, it'd just be SS. Shadow and Snow. I do not have the power of God and anime on my side. It was just trauma. I've never heard a more true statement. Same. All you have to do is find that book and cast that spell once more within Heavenly Host Elementary. Your chances of success would be much, much higher there, don't you think? Hold on, do you have any idea what you're saying? What happens if things get even worse? I didn't exactly mean to interrupt Kishinuma, but quite honestly, I didn't even realize he was talking. I was too focused on what Aiko had just said. You know about it, don't you? Our failed attempt at Yoshi's place, me and Nakashima. Aiko tilted her head at me. The same wry smile creeping across her face. She'd gone from cold and emotionless to knowing and expressive in a mere instant. I don't think we really believed what was happening to us. It was like a dream. What we saw was impossible. What we experienced was impossible. I thought I was going insane. It shouldn't have been possible. We shouldn't have done it. I want to put all of this behind me. But it was real. Aiko pointed to the scar on my neck. Then went one step further and lightly brushed it with her hand. I could feel that touch deep within my soul. I suddenly found myself swallowing my next breath, practically choking on thin air. See, you came in contact with something ordinary people could never even imagine. Do you really think you just turn tail and run from that now? Yeah, I think I can. I made it out alive, and, you know, it can go fuck itself. I looked down again, trying my best to avoid Aiko's gaze. Do you really think I can do it? When had I started crying? I raised my head again, intent upon looking deep in Aiko's eyes, as if she answered my question, but she looked so blurry through my tears. I could tell, though, that she was smiling at me. It was that same expression, her new standard. I'm not quite sure what you're talking about. Can you be more specific? Can I really? Yes, yes, what is it? I want to hear you say it. What exactly is it that you wish to accomplish? Can I bring everybody back? Nicely done. Aiko patted my head as one my dogs after successfully performing a trick. What the Grimoire produces are miracles, spawned from the wisdom of the witches, and these miracles hold the power to bend fate. Even if that fate is set in stone, so to speak. You are a descendant of the House of Shinozaki, a family of immensely powerful practitioners of magic, and since Hinui is no longer with us, this is something only you can do. My confidence was being bolstered by the minute, though in retrospect, that was likely Aiko's aim. Nonetheless, if there was still something I could do for my friends. But wait, I don't even know where the Book of Shadows is anymore. Plus, you're no longer able to travel the heavenly host by the way of the Sachiko in the Ever After ritual now that Sachiko is gone, correct? Yeah, that's right. That's what Yuki said anyway. Or Yuki Kano, a girl from the school. Aiko once again placed the bluish-white Magatama stones from the box in either hand, this time fitting them together, though not quite the way they were supposed to interlock. That's where these come in. What are they? They house an exceptional amount of spiritual energy, as one would expect, given that they're spirit items from the Shinozaki line. The voice I heard told me about them. They're called Ever After Stones. Ever After Stones? I leaned forward despite myself. The name sent a shiver down my spine, but now I'd heard it, I'd had to know more. These two are one. Fit them together like puzzle pieces and chant Nirvana, I summon the dead, and all who are in direct or indirect contact with them will be spirited away. We both flinched at her chant, but Aiko just smiled. She must have intentionally oriented the stones the wrong way so the charm wouldn't activate. It's the same way when you return. She tossed the stone she'd been holding in her right hand into her left, where it clacked together with the other. Strange, isn't it? This girl taught me the technique herself. Aiko gazed longingly at the stones. She was clearly, utterly enamored by them. It seemed as if they were the key factors in unleashing her newfound emotional expressiveness. But my focus was elsewhere. Without a doubt, the items Aiko now held in her left hand were extraordinarily dangerous, possibly the most dangerous horrific objects in the entire world. However, while Aiko was ogling them with her left hand, her right was feeling around for something in her breast pocket. This is me, feeling around in my breast. Comma, pocket. She slowly removed it, producing an old black and white photograph. When had she taken that? It was the same photograph I'd seen at the Makina Shinazaki's house the previous night. It depicted a young Yoshi alongside her mother and Makina. When Yoshi was in her teens, she adored her aunt Makina, and would often go to her place for a visit. The Shinozaki family, world famous for their spiritual abilities, and this was when it all started. The surviving elder of the Yagora Society felt it was too dangerous to leave these items with the Martubas, so he came here intending to steal the Book of Shadows away from them. But he felt it would be even more dangerous for the book and stones to remain together, so while he gave the book to Yoshi for safekeeping, he gave the stones to Makina. Yagora Society, Martubas, I've never even heard these terms before at all. And then there was that damned Book of Shadows again. Why'd they have to keep coming up? You removed Sachiko Shinozaki from the school, and in doing so, you created the perfect storm of opportunity. Two-way travel to and from that dimension is now possible. It's no longer a one-way road. A new spiritual hotspot, something not of this world, has been born. She thrust the Ever After stones toward me triumphantly and continued to make her pitch, growing more excited by the second. I was legitimately speechless. What could I say? Don't you see? That place is a gold mine. People can no longer claim the world of spirits is fake, or that spiritual investigations like myself are lying. Investigators like myself are lying. It's all different now. Occult research can be legitimized. I'm even considering bringing people to that cursed dimension on a tour if I can, to make a little extra cash. Kishinuma and I both reacted to this preposterous suggestion with a start. She couldn't possibly be serious, could she? I deleted the proxy doll data from Naho's blog, so now no one will be able to jump that way anymore. Only I possess the means to enter that place now. What could she possibly have been thinking? I wanted to stop her at once. I wanted to take those stones and break them right there on the spot before anyone else could get hurt. But when I began conducting these tours, however, I want to make customer safety my top priority. And you seek your friend's spirits, do you not? Well, reinvestigating that dimension could help you reach that goal. Our destinations are the same, Mayumi. Aiko leaned in as she spoke. Her breath, scented with the sugary sweetness of the extravagant desserts we've been eating, tickled my nose. So what do you say? Let's go back to Heavenly Host Elementary together one more time, shall we? I really wanted to conduct tours using the paper dolls, but missed my chance. Now, though, I have these lovely stones. I feel this must be fate, and I can make a business of it. Aiko seemed like she was on top of the world, but that just made me all the more disgusted with her. So how about it? On the other hand, she was offering me a chance to save our lost friends, and however remote that chance may have been, it stacked the odds frustratingly in her favor. I still couldn't just say yes, but I also couldn't say no. Honestly, I resented Aiko for putting me in this position. I glared at her for a moment before I said anything. I can't answer that right now. Give me some time to think it over. I had almost forgot Kishinuma was there. Suddenly, waves of guilt washed over me. He had an absolutely incredulous look on his face. I couldn't bear to see it, so I looked away. We don't know where the Book of Shadows is anyway. Plus, how do we know these stones can actually do what you say they can? There's no way you could have already tried it, right? Aiko smiled. She oriented the two stones so they'd form a perfect yin and yang symbol, then slotted them together once again. Immediately, the stones began glowing with a bluish-white hue, and a stream of energy started to form around her. You gotta be kidding me. Aiko continued smiling and looked directly into my eyes. No need to decide now. Think it over. Yes, it's true. The full range of these stones' power has yet to be tested, so their true danger is as of yet undetermined. She slowly separated the two stones as she said this, and the energy surrounding her dissipated. But they're from the home of Makina Shinozaki, a prominent branch of the Shinozaki tree. Their authenticity and credibility of my intelligence is hard to dispute. Hell of a thing. Can I see them? Kishinuma didn't wait for an answer. He grabbed the Ever After stones from Aiko's hands and began examining them carefully. Hard to believe this is what was in that box. You weren't planning on keeping these stones all to yourself, were you? Aiko seemed taken aback by the question. Way to go, Kishinuma, you managed to catch her off guard. Half the credit for finding them is due to Shinozaki risking her skin after all. Aiko seemed to ponder these words for a moment. Well then, let's make sure neither of us can go by ourselves. We'll each keep one of the two stones. Alright, give me one, Kishinuma. Sure thing. Kishinuma plopped one of the stones in my hand, then slipped the other back into the drawstring pouch Aiko had brought them in and closed it up. There. He then casually handed the pouch back to its rightful owner. Feel free to give me a call anytime you'd like, and don't worry, I'll help you find the Book of Shadows, free of charge. Aiko flashes the biggest, most gregarious smile I think I'd ever seen. And when we do find it, you will go with me, won't you, Ayumi? I closed my eyes and gave something like a half-hearted half-nod, lowering my head without raising it again. It was interpreted as a yes, but I'm not sure I meant it that way. Good, that being the case, it's on me today. Aiko got up and grabbed a check. No, I'll pay for mine. I took out my wallet. I had no desire to owe this person anything. Aiko just smiled. Dutch it is, then. Oh yes, I almost forgot. I'd like you to have this. Aiko handed the photograph to me. No, it's not going to bite you. I'm not asking any money for it, so please just take it with my blessing. Oh, we're 3D again. I despise her. Me too. Suzumoto, Shinohara, Morishige, and Miss Yui. Oh, I forgot Miss Yui existed. Oops. Okay, those three deserve to die. Miss Yui, I honestly don't really remember. I don't think she was problematic at all. Actually, no. She did kind of have a crush on, what's his name? The protag. Mochida. She did kind of have a crush on her student. So that is the one problematic thing about her. So, like, she kind of, like, 25% deserved to die. Isn't she a pedo? Okay, yeah, never mind. She deserved to die. They all had their own reasons to deserve to die. Seiko was a big pusher of sexual harassment. The one girl, incest. The other guy, fucking necrophiliac. and the teacher's a pedophile. Yeah, they all kind of deserve to die in their own right. Never mind. And Ayumi is the most problematic of them all, wanting to save all those people. So, Suzumoto, Shinohara, Morishige, and Miss Yui. As soon as I'm done with these four, I'm breaking the stone. Yeah, I'm right there with you. Better make sure to break the other one, though, too, while you're at it. As if he'd been waiting for his cue, Kishinuma pulled the other stone from his pocket. Kishinuma? She doesn't know what it's like in that school. I mean, she was actually getting excited about going there, so I helped myself when she wasn't looking. Kishinuma, that's amazing. You're terrible. Hey, serious business calls for serious action. Though, Shinozaki, I don't know how to say this exactly, but about the whole resurrection thing, the whole situation with Suzumoto and the others should probably just be left alone, don't you think? Finally, voice of reason, please. You've gone through so much already, and have come really close to dying, and I don't think any of them, not Suzumoto, Miss Yui, Shinohara, or Morishige, would want that. But that might not be true. Damn it, Shinozaki, just stop. Do you know how much Satoshi and Nakashima have been worrying about you? I'm sorry. But Kishinuma, please, you have to understand. I just need a little more. I need you to humor me for just a little bit longer, okay? Please, just let me do this. Fine, but listen, you're not doing it alone. I'm going to keep one of the stones. Ayumi's the whole reason this kid gets fucking killed in this game. Because I played, you guys know, I talked about it already. I played Sachiko's Hysteric Birthday Bash before playing this final encompassing game of the first chapter of the Corpse Party series, which is, you know, like chapter 1. Because Corpse Party 2, Dead Patient, so they went on to, you know, expanding the series with new characters. But literally in the fan service game, which is canon by the developers, he literally dies by getting like set on fire or something. I think that's how he dies. I don't know, but Ayumi gets everyone fucking killed, I'm pretty sure. Okay. It'll be alright, you know. I turned my gaze up to meet Kishinuma's. My eyes must have looked like saucers, windows into a mind full of worries, ideas and fears spurred by this unexpected turn of events. If anything happens, don't hesitate to call me, okay? I'm here for you. And I don't want you blindly rushing into dangerous situations like you did yesterday. I may not be able to offer much, but I'm confident I can at least protect you from harm. Kishinuma patted me on the head, reassuringly as he said this, and I had no idea how to react. I felt warm and safe, but also a little annoyed, much like a younger sister being simultaneously comforted and scolded by her big brother. All I could say in response was, okay. I could feel my eyes still bulging from my head, opened as far as my eyelids would allow. I imagined how I must have appeared to Kishinuma, and was momentarily embarrassed. Come on now, let's get you home. Okay. Okay, we can walk. Ready to head home? Not just yet. He's late. Seriously, what is he thinking? That boy needs to boot to the head, I swear. I don't need anything right now. Can't go that way. There's a human arm poking out through a hole in one of the garbage bags. Though on closer inspection, it's from a mannequin. God damn it. The sign on the door reads closed for the day, though this building has actually been vacant for years. This used to be a photo studio, I think? Is the owner of this house happy? Obviously they're experiencing the daily joys of hardships in life like everyone else, but do they really understand what it all means? Where are all the people? The streets seem unusually quiet. Is it just because of the late hour? I remember running up these stairs with Mayu Suzumoto. At the time, it was never dawned on me that the legitimacy of those memories could have been called into question. Why would it? When you graduate, transfer, or get married, you're always still able to see one another for as long as you're both alive. But in this reality, it's as if Suzumoto never even existed. It must have been emptied out recently. It's completely clean inside and smells only of the plastic bag. Ready to head home? Yeah. Come on then, let's go. I'm home. Welcome back. News of yet another bizarre death has just come in. This time, Mr. Akobe, whatever, who was discovered within the city at this location having suffered a broken spine. A Tokyo map has displayed on the television screen, marked with 2 red dots. The marquee at the bottom provided the headline, "Sudden violent deaths remain unexplained." Dinner will still be a while yet. Maybe you should take your bath first, Ayumi. Okay. Without thinking, I'd left the socks I just removed from my feet on the living room floor and began walking toward the bathroom. Hey, socks. This was a bad habit of mine, so ingrained within me that I had almost become ritual. Mom did well to have caught it so quickly. I grabbed my socks and left the room. Can I really bring them all back? If I use the Book of Shadows inside Heavenly Host this time, it just might work. I set my bag down in my room, quickly and automatically grabbed my sweatpants and spats, and made a beeline for the bathroom. When I got there, I threw my socks into the hamper with purpose, then began peeling off my school uniform. As I observed myself in the mirror, I began to murmur. Blowback. If I'm not careful, the same thing could happen again. Those burns on my neck and arms were eternal reminders of what I'd been through at the Shinozaki estate. I could clearly remember the agony I went through as they formed. I remember watching them sear into my flesh out of the thin air, blood spurting from them as if I'd been knifed. I only survived because Hinui sacrificed herself in my place. I have to do it. I tried to force self-confidence into my expression. When it wouldn't come, I slapped my cheeks hard. It was in me somewhere. It just needed to be yanked out into the open. You have to do your best, damn it. I lowered my head into the water ever so slightly, blowing bubbles in the water with my mouth. The pros and cons of returning to Heavenly Host were racing through my head. This is the power to challenge fate itself, to rewrite it. And I'm a Shinozaki, so this is something only I can do. I have to show everyone that I can bring them back. If only I knew where to find the Book of Shadows. I need to get my hands on it again. You're seriously going to look for the Book of Shadows? Your lack of sense never ceases to amaze me. Huh? He's got a furry on his jacket. It's a dragon. This was just about the last thing I expected. I couldn't help but scream. It was that same boy who'd found his way into my room last time, wearing the exact same clothes. He spoke to me without once turning his head to look in my direction. So you know about the Nirvana now. You finally piece it all together and realize what you have to do. He smiled, still facing away from me. It was a confident yet sinister grin. Why? And how? Hiding one's presence is about as basic as the spells they come. There's no need for a blown gasket. As for why I'm here, it's to remind you of who you are, and what you have to do. Your bloodline carries with it a certain responsibility after all. You... Pervert, stalker, molester, I'm calling the cops! My face had to have been as red as fire by this point. Shut the fuck up, titless. Hold on. I need to take a sip and read this again. Because that's fucking hilarious. Shut the fuck up, Titless. I'm sorry, that's gonna be something new I'm gonna start saying. Shut the fuck up, Titless. Who you calling a pervert when you got the body of a grade schooler? Ain't nobody gonna want to see a washboard like that. I love this guy so much. He's literally like the only person roasting the fuck out of Ayumi, and she deserves every second of it. Shut the fuck up, Titless. What? My head felt like it was... felt like it now housed all the blood from my entire body. I imagine myself white as a sheet below the neck and flashing red above it, on the verge of a megaton explosion. Just listen up. The Book of Shadows is back in the Nirvana. It happened when you messed up at the Shinozaki estate. Here, he handed me the photograph from Aiko. What are you trying to pull? Just look at it, you blind bitch. Here, right the fuck here. I grabbed the photograph from his hands as aggressively as I could muster, then backed away slightly, putting as much distance between me and him as humanly possible. It's definitely the same picture of the little girl holding the hatchet that Aiko had shown us earlier, but now I noticed that she was holding something else in her other hand, too. It was a hardbound book around the size of a typical desk dictionary, and though I could barely make it out, there was a certain aura to it that looked an awful lot like a face. God, it is. If you want to use its power, you gotta go back to the Nirvana, or should I say, back to Heavenly Host. Jump over there, get the book, and then maybe, just maybe, you can make your wish come true. He stuck out his hand and pointed directly at my face, then slowly lowered it down toward my abdomen. He was now inexplicably pointing at my lower body, but as soon as I started to get self-conscious, he flipped his hand over and opened it, exposing his palm. There was another piece of Tenyin gum cup there, the same kind as before. I'm not sure why I took it, but I did, without even thinking. As soon as the exchange was made, he immediately turned toward the bathroom window, apparently preparing to make his escape. Who are you, and why me? My question seemed to stop him in his tracks. Are you going to explain all this? I wasn't about to drop my guard, especially given the obvious advantage this boy had over me, but he didn't seem like he'd come to attack me or anything. Rather, it was almost like he was trying to lead me somewhere, to show me the way. I can't answer that just yet. He turned his head toward me just enough so I could catch a brief glimpse of the eyes beyond his hood. They were ice blue in color, but gentle and sincere. He smiled once more as he leaped out the bathroom window. I was kind of dumbfounded. I had no idea how to process what had just happened. What's wrong, Ayumi? Are you okay? Mom barged into the bath, brandishing a broom. It's probably the first thing she could find with which to fend off potential intruders. Too bad she hadn't been just a moment quicker. All I could do was squat on the cold bathroom floor, stare at her with hollow eyes. There was no way to adequately explain any of this to her. It was late at night, and I still hadn't bothered changing out of my school uniform. I needed food, though, so I decided to hit up the convenience store on my way back home. Picked up a bottle of olives, a pack of tofu, some mineral water, and other various things to keep me going for a while. The hell's this? I could hardly believe it. There was actually an occult section at the damn mini-mart, with all kinds of stupid stuff like spirit talisman magnets and anti-demon wards. I grabbed one off the shelf at random and looked at the company logo on the back. PL Promotions Co. Incorporated. For these last 2 months, since we had gotten back from Heavenly Host, it seems like there was a real spiritual boom going on all over the world. Whenever there'd be a strange death or something, the public would be all over it, downright excited about the possibility that it might be supernatural in nature. It was all over TV shows and magazines too, with independent researchers checking out spiritual hotspots and giving fancy new age advice to people just to boost ratings or sales. And now this, exorcism merchandise next to the pre-packaged cupcakes and ready-made dinners. Get your talismans at every corner store now, huh? Not so long ago I've made fun of all this crap. Guess it's not such a laughing matter anymore though. Never thought I'd see the day when I pick up one of these things and wonder if it actually works. The item I was examining happened to be one of the spirit talisman magnets, seemingly the last one in stock. An old lady suddenly reached around me from behind and yanked it right out of my hands. What? She glowered? Okay. Glowered at me for a moment before taking her prize over to the register. And he just stood there, staring blankly at her as she walked away. The hell? Thank you very much. It's a withered bouquet of flowers. Oh yeah, I heard there was a serial killer who recently done in the middle school girl around here. They were probably left in memory of her or something. It's pretty messed up. Meow. Ooh, just a cat. Don't I feel like an idiot now? Someone threw their burnable trash from here, from home in here again. Ah, shit. I should have explored more. Kishinuma. Shinozaki, what are you doing here this late? I thought you went home. I did. Sorry to accost you like this. You just get off work? Yeah, I had the late shift today. Wait, don't tell me you've been waiting for here for me this whole time, have you? Man, I'm really sorry. No, it's fine. It was actually a really chilly night. I could see Shinozaki's breath dissipating around her chin in short, frequent black bursts. It's not fine at all. You're shivering. You can come in if you want. I'll get you some hot tea or something. Thanks. My room was on the second floor of the apartment building. I hadn't been expecting guests, but I had just tidied up for my own sake a little while back, so it was fairly presentable. Shinozaki immediately sat down on my bed and began sipping the tea I'd made for her. She was holding it in both hands, probably less for politeness and more just to warm them up. This is really good. Isn't it? It's from my sister. She sends it to me all the time. Says it's made from really good leaves. The sound of a large truck driving by seemed to catch her off guard. She was clearly a bit jittery, unsurprisingly, all things considered. They do construction at this hour? Yeah, when it gets close to the end of the year, they do all kinds of pointless work out there. It's like this every night. I've been sleeping like crap because of it. That sounds really annoying. Time passed us by at a snail's pace. Shinozaki continued to sip her tea, never once removing either hand from the warm cup. She definitely had something on her mind. Something had happened. It was written all over her face. Are you fighting with your parents or something? Nuh-uh. Oh, don't worry. They know I'm here. They do? Yeah. Shinozaki was in my room. I dreamed about this before, but never thought it would actually happen. Okay, but... Well, I just kind of want to know, like, what you're doing here this late. Did something happen? You could say that. Seriously, you want to go back to Heavenly Host right now? I was half acting, as admittedly, this wasn't entirely unexpected. Shinozaki may be a lot of things, but unpredictable is not among them. Please? So you came here to get the stone from me. I took out the Ever After stone I'd stolen from Aiko. Come on, Shinozaki, think about it. Yeah, the stone's got all glowy, so they probably can send you over, but what do you actually hope to accomplish once you get there? What if you get stuck again and can't get out? You'll die. And if you die over there, your existence will be erased over here. You'll be gone. I tried to be as strong and commending as I could possibly muster. I needed her to realize what a bad idea this was. I don't care if I'm erased, I just want to save our friends. Save them? The Grimoire, the Book of Shadows, I know where it is. That book you were talking about earlier? Yeah, here, look. She had that photograph thing from Aiko with her. I was pointing to the little girl's left arm. She's been staring us in the face this whole time. Look in her hand. That is the Book of Shadows. I didn't have to look very hard to see it, but... Okay, so she's carrying a book, fine, but do you have any proof that it's the Book of Shadows? No, but I don't think it could be anything else. You don't think? We just have to go to Heavenly Host and get it back. Then we can save our own souls from the Nirvana. We can finally resurrect Suzumoto and the others. How could I argue with that? There were so many assumptions being made, but she was so sure of herself, so certain that this could work. She wasn't about to listen to reason. Shinozaki shook her head furiously, like some sort of violent shudder. It almost seemed like she was trying to shake something loose from her mind. But can these rock shoes actually take us back to Heavenly Host? That girl, Aiko Nima, was it? Was it? There was something just not quite right about her, don't you think? Well, we won't know until we test them now, will we? But if they do work, the souls of our friends are the one in the line, and I believe we have a real chance of saving them. Shinozaki. She still had deep scars all along her arms, legs, and neck. Anyone could tell at a glance that she just recovered from a serious accident. She sounded so self-assured, so self-confident, but it was hard to take any of that seriously. This was the first time in my life I found myself tearing up over someone, not being embarrassed that I was crying. Honestly, it surprised me, even me, how deeply I cared about Shinozaki and how much I just didn't want to lose her. My eyes were getting hot and glazed, and I felt utterly hopeless. I can't talk about this with anyone else, but you trust me, Kishinuma, don't you? I was at a complete loss for words. I found myself literally scratching my head trying to come up with a good answer. This was Shinozaki. She had come to me for moral support, for encouragement, for peace of mind. It was really the first time she'd ever truly relied on me, even truly counted on me. I knew then what I had to do. Damn it. You know what we went through in that piece of shit school. There's no telling what might be waiting for us over there now. But if you're sure about this, we should do it. Honestly, I had no idea what the hell you were thinking, but I promised you one thing and I intend to deliver on that. What one thing? That I protect you no matter what. Shinozaki and I stared into each other's eyes for a moment, each of us trying to figure the other out. Don't worry, everything will be okay. I tried to force a smile. Shinozaki had basically curled up into a ball at this point. Her tiny body collapsed in on itself for support, but now all of a sudden she unfurled herself and glared at me. I couldn't tell if she was mad or happy or what. Her eyes were either like daggers or saucers. I couldn't really make out which. Maybe she'd come here expecting me to actively shoot down her ideas or something. Maybe she thought she'd be alone in this. Maybe she figured out what I was up to. Or maybe she'd been expecting me to say exactly what I said to her. Maybe it annoyed her. Either way, tears began to explode from her eyes so quickly that red bags were forming under them almost instantly. She then turned back to me, all with one seemingly unconscious spin of her body. Shinozaki, are you okay? During the day, you remember when you patted my head? She seemed like she was trying her hardest not to let herself cry, though it wasn't exactly working. Huh? I did? Yeah, you don't remember? She paused, seemingly waiting for me to answer, but I had no idea what to say, and absolutely didn't want to say the wrong thing, so I just stood there like a dolt. Never mind then. If you don't remember, that's fine. Finally, she turned back to face me, her tears mostly dry. Still a little self-conscious about crying, though, she kept her eyes closed, a telltale frown belaying her confidence. There was obviously something between the lines for me to read here, but hell if I knew what it was. Here, let me see your stone. Huh? Oh, okay. Shinozaki removed the Ever After stone from her pocket and placed it squarely in my hand. I positioned it next to my stone and stared intently at the two. This was the turning point. What I did next could decide our fates. I couldn't mess this up. Outside my window, I could still hear the sound of construction vehicles driving by. It was now or never. In a close to one solid motion as I could manage, I opened my window and chucked the two stones out into the road. Hey! I timed it perfectly, and my aim couldn't have been better. Another truck was about to pass by, and the stones were immediately in its path. The sound I heard next was a satisfying crunch. It was the sound of delicate glass-like rocks breaking into tiny pieces. Shinozaki had rushed over to the window and directly witnessed the fate of the Ever After stones. As soon as the truck drove over them, she collapsed to her knees. Like I said, I'll protect her no matter what. No matter what I have to. I couldn't even finish my sentence before Shinozaki's palm slammed my face with an incredible force. The loud smack of flesh on flesh echoed throughout the room. The side of my face was immediately in pain. I began rubbing it with my hands as I looked into Shinozaki's eyes. Her face was filled with tears. Her nose was running. She was breathing so heavily. Her shoulders were bobbing up and down. I never should have trusted you. Shinozaki, listen, I was wrong to believe you'd help me. I should have known better. She was absolutely hysterical with rage. Think I could just stand by and let you go back there? Back there? It was my turn to fire back now. I was certain I'd done the right thing. How do you even know for sure the book is there? And how do you intend to get it back from the girl once you get there? Going over there without a plan would be certain death. I hate you. You're an ass, a delinquent, a worthless piece of shit. leaving me with those hurtful words. Shinozaki then pushed past me, and ran out of the room, crying like a child the whole way. I stood back up again, rubbing my cheek where I'd been slapped. A worthless piece of shit. Ow. Please, please, God, where are they? Oh. Found them. They're okay, but they were run over by a truck. Why would that matter? Those aren't just any old stones. You. Oh, he's got the hood off now. He's got cool hair. The method is in your grasp now. Rested from the opposition. Now it's time to indulge in what you've won, to push forward, put that method to the test. You can make the jump now. You're much more than those filthy peasants. You can surpass them. You can interject your own will into the fabric of this world. Are you on my side then? Shinozaki! Kishinuma. I'm miles ahead of this trash. Huh? Who the hell? It's that guy I passed in front of Shinozaki's place. They're still intact? Damn it. Shinozaki, give them to me. No! This has to stop. You can't go over there. How many times do you think you can cheat death before death wins? No! Hand them over, damn it! No! Get fucked. Bad dog. Ayumi, you asked if I was on your side. I am. I'm your guardian. Oh, something just felt. Oh, I felt something on my leg. Ugh. Hold on, I'm just checking. Okay. Ugh. I was Hinui, your sister's protege. I owe a lot to her. My name is Mizuto Kiriya. Kiriya? Of the Yagoro Society. You're my sisters? Good girl. You remember the chant to unlock their powers, don't you? Then let's get started. Let me see those stones. This is cool. Hold on tight to me in here. A good luck charm. Don't lose it. Obtained Mizuto's charm, the Argus Cube. Shinozaki, don't go, don't! I'm sorry, you don't need to worry about me anymore. Shinozaki! You should have lived the life of a peasant. It's only fitting. You should live the life of a peasant. It's only fitting. Stop. Nirvana. I summon the dead. Shinozaki! Bye, bitch. This can't be happening. Shinozaki, Shinozaki! Damn it, why? God damn it! Are we back? Where am I? Yeah, bitch, you know where you are. This stench, this heaviness. It's Heavenly Host. Mizuto, where are you? The Ever After Stones. They're gone. What do I do now? Mizuto must still have them. But without them, without the stones, I can't get back. Mizuto! I'm all alone in the school again. Get fucked. God. No, I can't start panicking. He's here somewhere. I'll find him. This is just how it happened last time, too. Huh? Huh? Like a pomegranate. Die, kill, curse. You should just die, hate, die. No one is coming to save you. Head so full of juice. Welcome. No! The 3D makes it look so funny and not scary at all. Yeah. The horrible things written on the blackboard are glowing so brightly, they almost seem to be blacklit. Even with Sachiko gone, the malice remains. There are large quantities of long black hair stuffed into the cabinet. Heavenly Host Elementary, notice to all faculty and students, due to the recent kidnappings, this says like every other game. It says the same shit. Here we go. It wasn't this dark last time. Ah. There wasn't a clock like that in here last time either. I guess things really are different now. I hope Mizuto hasn't gone too far. I don't even know his phone number. Actually, I should leave a message for him. Is the music too loud? Can y'all hear me over the music? Mizuto, it's Ayumi. Please call me. Good enough, I think. Now let's see if I can find him anywhere. Yeah, you good. Okay, thanks. The clock's pendulum seems to have stopped at an angle. This clock wasn't here last time, was it? Mizuto? Buzz, 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 rain. It was a rainy evening after school, just like this one. That has to be a person. There should be something I can use to cross this hole. I wonder if there's anything I can use. Yeah, give me this. Ugh, or not. Piss bucket. There's a murky yellow liquid inside the bucket, filling the hall with an actually noxious odor. This is really disgusting. Not that anything in here isn't, though. We got batteries from the piss bucket. Oh, dumb bitch. Heavenly Host is falling. I'm the dumb bitch. I walked right into it. Heavenly Host is falling apart more than ever. As a result, there are numerous hazards to watch out for. From broken glass to splinters, stepping on one will lower your HP. Why the fuck do we have HP? Depending on the hazard encounter, only the currently selected player character may get hurt, or the entire party may take damage. HP can be recovered through the use of bandages. There's something on the floor here. Bandage obtained. A dead body? Why are you so shocked? Before me were the skeletal remains of a human being, sprawled out unceremoniously on the ground. This is definitely Heavenly Host. This person, I have no idea who he is, but somehow I feel like I've met him before. Name tag resides beside the corpse. Sukatani High Class 2C Toshihisa Gato. Decapitation by wire while searching for a friend. I'm gonna turn the music down just a bit. That seems good. Oh, now it's way too low. God damn it. Okay. What the fuck? It's a loose floorboard, still very much intact and entirely solid. It should be strong enough to support the weight of a fully grown adult. This might come in handy, huh? God, now I actually have to, like, fucking care about where I walk. It's a ghost. Shig? What? Oh, it's her. Suzumoto? Shig? It's me, Ayumi. I've come here to find you. Shig. You're right, the 3D models kind of make it look stupid. Dumbass. I can probably lose her if I hide in here. You can hide in lockers to avoid harmful entities. However, if you're spotted by the entity while trying to hide, it can very easily pull you out. When an entity is nearing your hiding place, a red circle will be displayed to indicate danger. If it moves farther and farther away, the circle will turn green and eventually go away completely, if and when the coast is clear. Press the confirm button to exit your hiding place, but beware, if there are any entities in sight, you'll be immediately chased by them, so make sure you time your exit well. At least I was able to get away. I have to hurry and find Mizuto, though. Is there a brightness setting? Ambient, occlusion, brightness. Okay, that was a bit too bright. It's really bright in the menu. Hold on. Contrast. That looks a bit better. Yeah, I can see better now. There's no use hiding you. You're always being watched. The doors are fixed to the wall. Are you fucking kidding me? Girl. Girl, leave me alone. Though there's still a massive bloodstain here, Mayu Suzumoto remains no longer present. Can I hide in this one? I'm literally just listening to the audio while I work, and that ghost makes the dumbest noises. Yeah. Yuki? Yuki, help me. My chin smashed against the floor, and the wind was completely knocked out of me. My entire field of vision turned white, as if I'd been drenched in some unholy, phosphorance. Yuki. Oh, what the fuck? No. Then everything went black. Various indistinct forms blurred together in front of my eyes, and all of a sudden it felt as if not my body but my mind had been shattered to pieces. Did I just fucking die? Chapter 1, returning to be continued. God damn. EVP entry is unlocked. Shadows cleared any chapter in the dark. Well, damn. That was chapter 1, well, technically the second chapter of this game, Corpse Party Blood Drive. Thank you all for joining me. I will see you all tomorrow. If you're watching the VOD, thank you for catching the VOD. Really good game. Thank you to my friends joining me here today, Social Outcast, The Tigger, and The Optimisfit. And if any lurkers were here, thank you for lurking, thank you for hanging out. If you want to go support me on other platforms such as YouTube, you can go watch this whole thing again on YouTube, because why not? This will be uploaded sometime today. And I'm gonna get going. I'll see all of you tomorrow for chapter 02, but technically chapter 3. There's 11 chapters in this game and like 8 more bonus chapters, so this is gonna be like a long week and a half, 2 weeks of me streaming this. I will see you all again soon. You'll have a good day, night, afternoon, whatever time it is for you. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.